Welcome back to Bike Extraction, the channel where history, engineering, and passion come together to tell the story of motorcycles that changed the way we ride. Back in the late 1980s, the world of motorcycling was changing fast. Riders were no longer satisfied with machines that could only handle one environment. They wanted freedom, something that could cruise on the highway, tackle dirt roads, and carry them across continents. Honda answered this call with a bike born out of the Paris-Dakar Rally, a motorcycle that blurred the line between competition machine and everyday explorer, the Africa Twin 650. It wasn't just another dual sport. It was the beginning of a legacy. The Africa Twin 650, internally labeled the RD03, was directly inspired by Honda's NXR750, the bike that dominated the Paris-Dakar Rally in the mid-80s. Dakar was the ultimate test of man and machine, thousands of miles across unforgiving desert landscapes. Honda's engineers wanted to distill that rally-winning formula into something regular riders could own. The result was the Africa Twin 650, lighter than the race bikes, but built with the same toughness, durability, and long-distance capability. At its heart, the 647 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled, 52-degree V-twin wasn't designed to break speed records. Instead, Honda tuned it for balance and reliability. Producing around 57 horsepower at 8,000 RPM and 55 Nm of torque at 6,000 RPM, it gave smooth, predictable power delivery. That wide, usable torque band was perfect for climbing trails loaded with luggage or overtaking on a highway stretch. And because it was understressed, the engine could run for thousands of kilometers with minimal complaint, an essential trait for long-distance travel and remote areas. The frame and suspension setup revealed Honda's attention to versatility. The steel frame was strong but forgiving, designed to handle weight without losing stability. With nearly 220 mm of front travel and 210 mm at the rear, the bike could glide over rocks, potholes, and sandy terrain. Yet it never felt punishing on asphalt. Honda struck a rare balance between off-road readiness and on-road comfort, which is why the Africa Twin quickly earned a reputation as a bike you could take anywhere without hesitation. Adventure isn't just about capability, it's about endurance. The Africa Twin's ergonomics were carefully tuned for riders spending entire days in the saddle. The upright seating position, wide handlebars, and tall windscreen reduced fatigue on highways. Meanwhile, the narrow seat and tall ground clearance gave riders control when standing on the pegs off-road. The massive 25-liter tank was another statement of intent. With fuel efficiency in the mid-40s mpg, it gave a range of over 300 miles, critical for crossing deserts or mountain ranges where gas stations were few and far between. The styling wasn't simply for show. The Dakar-inspired bodywork served real purposes. The fairing cut wind fatigue, the bash plate guarded the engine, and the dual headlights gave strong illumination for night rides in remote regions. Even the paint schemes echoed Honda's racing heritage, with red, white, and blue graphics that linked it back to the rally bikes. Decades later, this design has become iconic. Today, when enthusiasts spot an Africa Twin 650, it still turns heads as one of the best-looking adventure bikes of its era. No motorcycle is perfect. At 220 kilograms wet, the Africa Twin wasn't light, and in tight, technical off-road trails, the weight could be punishing. Dropping it on rocky ground meant effort to lift it back up. The carburetors required tuning, especially at altitude, and servicing wasn't as easy as with smaller, simpler dual sports. And now, more than 30 years on, parts availability can be a real challenge. But these flaws never overshadowed its strengths. Instead, they became part of its charm, the price of owning a machine that could do so much, so well. The significance of the Africa Twin 650 goes far beyond its era. It essentially created the formula that modern adventure bikes follow: a mid-capacity, reliable engine, long suspension travel, a strong subframe for luggage, a large fuel tank, and styling that blended comfort with ruggedness. Later versions like the XRV750 refined the concept, and today's CRF1100L Africa Twin carries the same DNA. But the 650 was the first. It showed the motorcycle world what an adventure bike could truly be. For collectors and riders, the Africa Twin 650 isn't just a motorcycle, it's a symbol. It represents a time when adventure meant mechanical simplicity and rider skill, not electronics or riding modes. Back in 1988, it sold for around $7,500, which made it expensive but still within reach for serious riders. Today, surviving examples are rare and highly prized, often fetching prices anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 depending on condition. But for many, its value isn't measured in dollars, it's measured